I want to go ahead and I want to move on to the first part of my stream, which is covering some genre news items. There's been a lot of talk going on at Warner Bros. Discovery, or Warner Bros. Or Discovery. I call them Discovery Bros, chat. One of those big stories that's been going on, I would say, for the last couple of months is, obviously just, David Zaslav cutting content, chat, not really greenlighting a lot. But I think for the first time in a while, we do have a sense of what's going to be coming up, or at least what he wants to do. Some of it's kind of confusing, though. To me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I'm kind of curious to hear, your guys' opinion. I want to share my own, of course, first, but I want to hear from you guys just a bit. And this is from The Verge chat, and saying basically, hey, we finally have an idea of what kind of stuff, media stuff, David Zaslav wants Warner Bros. Discovery to make, chat. This is in response to a question about Warner Bros. Discovery's free cash flows. The company looks forward to 2023. Zaslav was candid about his desire to focus on franchises in the near future and name drop Superman, Batman, and Harry Potter as properties he's keen on tapping back into. This is his quote, Chad, and this is a weird quote to me. We haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years. Not true. Zaslav said, we haven't done Harry Potter movie in 15 years. I was like, I don't think so. I feel like the Superman Man of Steel came out 2013. I think when was Harry Potter, Chad? Was that like 2011? 2012, but okay. The DC movies and Harry Potter movie, all right, provide a lot of the profits of Warner Bros. Motion pictures over the last 25 years, so focus on the franchises. The last Superman movie was Man of Steel in 2013. The last film set in the Harry Potter universe is Fantastic Beasts, The Secret of Dumbledore, which came out this year, so I guess he's not counting. That's the other thing that's confusing. I guess he's not counting the Fantastic Beasts movies as part of the Harry Potter franchise, so kind of odd. As radioactive a figure as J.K. Rowling's transphobia has made her, Zaslav mentioned he wanted to do something with her on a Harry Potter project because it's one of WB's brands that are understood and loved everywhere in the world. Identifying the success of those brands and failure of endeavors like going all in on streaming of HBO Max have been a priority for the company, Zaslav said, adding that direct-to-streaming has done almost nothing for HBO Max in terms of its viewership, retention, or love of the service. While that last bit might raise some hackles, the larger point Zaslav was trying to make was partially about how HBO Max subscribers are apparently watching a small selection of shows like Friends, The Big Bang Theory, and Two and a Half Men, are far more than a lot of the platform's original programming. That's sad. There's certainly something to be said about the importance of a streaming service ability to show users new things that they want to watch, but rather than putting an emphasis on improving discoverability, Zaslav pointedly said that what he wants is to make room for new projects, something that wouldn't have been possible without getting rid of the existing IPs on the service. We didn't take one show off a platform that was going to help us in any way, Zaslav said. It's going to help us to get off the platform so that we can now invest the knowledge of what is working and replace those shows with content that has a chance to be more successful. It's been beyond clear for some time now that Zaslav means business and has no qualms about breaking a few eggs in his pursuit of a streaming omelet. But with today's news of Warner Bros. Discovery pulling the plug, and that's what we're going to talk about in just a bit, it's getting even harder to get a sense of what, if anything, at the company is safe, or if Zaslav's plan is just to flood the space of sitcom reruns. I feel like, I guess that's what we want. We're getting a lot of sitcom reruns, chat. We're getting a lot of reboots and remakes of Two and a Half Men and Friends and the Big Bang Theory, a lot more spinoffs. Few questions. Listen, I know like the DC division it's been reworked completely, chat. We have James Gunn that was just placed in there as a co-CEO, Peter Safran as a co-CEO. James Gunn will handle the creative side, Peter Safran will handling the business side of things. It's like, that seems good. It seems like a good decision, obviously. We know that Henry Cavill is coming back to the DCU. He's probably going to be playing Superman for the next 10 plus years now. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the next big projects is a Superman movie. Kind of weird that David Zaslav is kind of throwing out numbers. Haven't been a Superman movie in 13 years. It's like, that's not true. It's like, what are you talking about, old man? And like talking about Harry Potter, they're like, I haven't been a Harry Potter film in 15 years, saying it's like, so I mean, you can interpret that in how many ways you want. One, he doesn't really seem to know how time works, because the last Harry Potter film, like it was the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I believe that came out in didn't it come out in 2011? It came out in 2011, chat. And then we've gotten these Fantastic Beasts films, which have come out, through the course of the 2010s, and obviously in the 2020s, most recently with Fantastic Beasts. So I guess he's not counting those. I mean, clearly, what's obvious now. I think we'll see what's going to happen with DC, Chat, in the future, what they're going to keep, what they're going to axe. I'm hoping, I mean, there's a lot of problems that James Gunn and Peter Safran have to clean up, I mean, everything to do with Ezra Miller and The Flash. Like, how is that going to work out? We'll see. I mean, the movie's going to be released. They have some other projects that we already know that we're getting. We're getting, obviously, Shazam, which I'm looking forward to. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, I believe it's called. We're going to be getting that Blue Beetle movie. I'm shocked that movie's going to actually be put in theaters. I can't, but not that I'm against Blue Beetle at all. I'm just like, I'm surprised they didn't axe that one. But I'm looking forward to that one, of course. And obviously, we're going to be getting more Peacemaker. We're going to be getting another Batman sequel, though I think that's years away. The Batman 2, whatever they're going to call it. It's going to those Matt Reeves Batman movies are going to be, I think, maybe over a long period of time. Not like, every 2 years or something. At least that's the sense that I get. And then we're probably going to be getting another Superman movie. The Black Adam is kind of an asterisk now because that movie is not performing well internationally. Excuse me, I mean just in general. Commercially, it's just not performing well. And apparently it's not going to China because, China's being China, of course. So it's probably not going to be going there, and it's going to lose out on all that money there. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to struggle to even break even now, chat. So James Gunn, Peter Safran, they have a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of bad stuff. They got a lot to work with. They have a lot to sift through, of course. Now, the Harry Potter stuff is weird to me. This is the part where I'm kind of confused by. That David Zaslav wants to make more Harry Potter movies. So are you referring to like the characters of Harry Potter, like played by Daniel Radcliffe and Hermione Granger, played by, Emma Watson and Ron Weasley, played by Rupert? Are you talking about like those characters and continuing the stories on? And based on what? Based on, what? I mean, there's the Cursed Child book, which is a play, but then it's also, but whatever, that thing. But what I've heard, from even really big Harry Potter fans, they're like, they don't really like that book. They don't even like that play. So, I mean, are they going to adapt that? Is that what they're working on? Do you want to split that into multiple movies? And the other thing is, okay, you want to continue this franchise on. One, I mean, he's like, yeah, we're bringing back J.K. Rowling. I want her to make more of these movies with us. So he has no qualms about working with her, no doubt about that. So does that mean she's going to be doing new books, or does that mean she's going to be writing screenplays with these characters? And then you have the other part of it, chat. How are you going to bring back these actors like Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and Rupert Grint? They've been pretty vocal of their criticism of J.K. Rowling. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe most recently was saying like, I felt the need to to speak out against J.K. Rowling and support trans fans of Harry Potter. I was like, he was putting it out there. Other part of it too is, I don't think these actors want to come back and play these roles. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe has said, he's like, I don't want to be in a long-term contract when I'm playing a character, a single character. Like, Daniel Radcliffe seems very happy with what he's been doing right now. Like, I mean, he recently just did the Weird Al Yankovic biopic where everyone's raving about his performance. He seems pretty happy himself. I mean, Emma Watson has been very vocal. Like, I don't want to do that again. I mean, Rupert Grint, I mean, he's doing a lot of television stuff. He's really come back. I've just seen him a lot more now. And most recently in the Cabinet of Curiosities, and he's going to be in that M. Night Shyamalan movie. And you have all these other actors that are doing things too. I mean, how are you going to get them back? Are you recasting these roles? That is just weird to me. That this is what we're going to be doing. I'm like, okay, what's the plan? That's always been my issue with David Zaslav is like, okay, what's your overall plan? Like, you're cutting a lot of content, but how are you going to put any of this in action? So I feel like I don't think you want to. Okay, we're going to get a lot more DC stuff. There's no doubt about that. Very curious what's going to come out of this James Gunn, Peter Safran run film division. They got to do a lot of bullshit that was left over and just some other things that's just obviously not their fault. They got Aquaman 2. They got Aquaman 2 coming, of course. I'm curious to see what that seems to be kind of getting on the rails again. I mean, Black Adam is just still. I don't know about that movie now, or that franchise. It's just weird. It just seems like such an anomaly to me at this point, but whatever. But this Harry Potter thing, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't know where he's getting all this stuff from. And they're continuing the Wizarding World brand on, with the game like Hogwarts Legacy, but just like a Harry Potter movie. What are you talking about? What are you basing this on? How are you going to get any of these people back? It's just weird. It's just very weird to me, like his statements on Harry Potter. I don't understand what he's talking about. If I was a sure, I'd be like, wait, what are you what were you referring to? There's no more books. There's no more books. These other actors have really, I mean, some, not all of them, but some are like, I would love to come back to the world, of course. But there's like the main ones, like Harry Potter himself's like, he loved it. You know, Daniel Radcliffe said, I love that experience. I love this character. It defines him. But he's like, I'm more than just that. And so it's very weird, his comments. They're confusing at the very least. But yeah, I don't know, Chad. I don't know. This didn't really, I mean, I guess it puts things in the perspective of what David Zaslav wants, but I don't know if what he wants is possible. I don't get it. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. And we're going to cover the Westworld thing in just a bit, but what about you guys out there? How do you feel about this news? Does it fill you with concerns? Does it fill you with confusion like me? I mean, let me know.